Yeah.
I don't have IBS, Martin. You have IBS.
That's true. I do. Except it's not IBS. I just poop a lot. Is that the same thing? That's not the same thing. I'm not irritated about it. I love it. It's great.
No.
A solid poop is very, very good.
I'm eating a taco right now, guys.
That is not going to be a solid poop, is what I'm saying. That's a Taco Bell taco.
How do you know?
That is going to wreck your colon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your two favorite facially blessed individuals. You guys know who we're talking about. That's right, folks. It's the two bearded preachers aiming to misbehave.
Yes, like we always do. Because we're the edgiest podcast on the networks.
Baby.
So edgy.
Suck it, Francis Chan.
So sharp. Oh man, just right out the gate with it, huh? Right out the gate, just like that.
Suck it all, you guys with really expensive shoes. Is that better?
Man.
Is that better?
The shoe thing is kind of serious. It's.
There's an issue there, isn't there? Yeah.
There's something wrong, but I'm not sure what it is. I don't like it, but I can't really put my finger on why. I don't know.
I think I can put my finger on it. Yeah. This finger.
That one?
That one.
Right
that finger. We can put that finger on it.
That finger on it.
That one and that one. Those fingers. Those are the fingers we can put on it.
Finger guns. Hey man, we got a call, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, now here's the thing. It's a little. They asked me a question. Like I thought this whole thing was going to be about me. They asked me one question, but then I'm gonna let me prepare you for this, Martin. They just tear into you. Like,
well,
it's a 42-second phone call. No, well, yeah, a little tirade. And they're really nice to me, but not so nice to you. So
they're probably jealous. They're probably jealous of my beard and general good looks.
Well, yeah, that's obvious, but still.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they're really nice to me, and so they just ask a simple question, which we'll answer. And
so pretty much it's one of your friends that...
No. I think this is one of your friends. They seem to know quite a bit about you, and so, but this is in response to...
Well, we put it all out there.
And we apologize for the podcast not being up for the last couple of weeks because there was 1 week Martin had something going on, and I was busy last week because...
Yep, it happens.
Yeah,
you got kicked in the head.
Yeah. I forgot that I told you about that. I got knocked out. So.
Were you knocked out? Really?
I'm pretty sure. Like in as I think back and trying to remember everything, I was out.
You think so?
Yeah, my jaw might have been. I think it got my jaw. I don't know if it was totally dislocated, but it kind of popped out. I think and popped back in, so it was swollen. But by fight time, I was ready to go. It still hurt like crap.
I believe it.
So, but that's why I didn't pull guard on anybody. I just pushed forward, So, game plan worked perfectly. Gold medal, baby.
Hey man, is that your new game plan then?
Probably not. I like
it worked though.
It did work. I like working from the back though.
Okay.
But the first guy was actually better. He was stronger. And so that's why, I knew he was going to pull guard on me. I saw him fight before. He pulled guard every time. And I knew he was going to do that little thing. And that's why I sat straight down. So, yeah.
But anyways,
it's neither here nor there. Well, let's go ahead. This is in reference to the complaining lady a few weeks ago. All right. And that's what this one is in reference to. And then a comment that Martin had made about something. So we'll go ahead and start. You guys ready? All right, ready? Starting now.
Hey, this question is for Justin. I just have to know, man. Can you tell me, the complaining lady, did she have the haircut? And also, Martin, what's up with the double IPA reference? Like you've ever had any of that crap? Like you think you're hipster enough for that kind of beer? No. You heard some of your bronies down at the judo dojo talking about it one day while you're rolling around the floor in your pajamas. And then you had to go off and had to mention it, be like, oh yeah, the double IPA. Yeah, that'll be edgy enough for the show. That'll be edgy enough for people wonder if I actually drink double IPA. You ain't fooling me with that crap. You've been in the Army. Y'all drink Miller Genuine Draft, and that's
it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the first one.
Your
here.
question. Right.
All right, so did she have the complaining lady from last? Did she have the haircut? Martin, and so Martin had to. Martin, can you explain the haircut to me? There's a haircut of complaining people. Apparently, the haircut there is. So Martin, please describe this to me, and then I will tell you whether she had it or not.
There's a meme that's going around that says that's the can I speak to the manager look. And here's how you know that someone's going to complain at the restaurant and want to talk to the manager. They have this specific haircut.
Okay.
Here's how it is. It's for ladies. They have it's cut short in the back. And then as it comes up, it gets longer and longer, so it sort of frames the face. Okay. So it's kind of long in the front, but kind of short in the back. It's sort of like a reverse mullet. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense to you?
I'm actually looking at it right now. Okay.
You're looking at it? Okay.
I am looking at it right now, and
that should be our artwork for the episode, so people will understand.
Yes.
So,
yes. Okay.
That's the uniform of complaining.
Speak to the manager. Speak to the manager haircut. Okay. Also known as the Kate, John and Kate plus 8 haircut. Is that the same? That's the same shit, right?
I don't know what that is.
Pretty sure that's who that is. All right.
Sure. Okay. Why not?
Yeah.
Is John and Kate plus 8 a complaining lady?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably, but based on the haircut, we're gonna say yes. So.
Yeah.
But here, does the person have the haircut?
Okay, well, I will say it this way. They do have the shorter hair. It's not as much as that long enough. It's not that specific haircut. However, it is more of an Ellen DeGeneres haircut. It is short.
Okay. Ellen DeGeneres.
So it's a short. Okay. It's not like the real short, kind of like, almost, the look that she has for like almost like the Caesar haircut. It's kind of like a Caesar haircut, I guess. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's like the shorter like Ellen DeGeneres style. Not so much the haircut lady complaining. So, but it's pretty close.
It's not bad. So
this is not bad. But it's interesting that complaining people significantly have short hair, or at least women. Is this a thing?
Complaining ladies wear the uniform.
Wear that one.
They wear the uniform.
That's the uniform. So
it's a thing.
I don't know if that. I don't think that's a.
Only get that haircut if it's a thing.
Oh, okay.
Does your wife complain a lot?
No, she's pretty chill.
No, she does not. Does she have that haircut? No, she does not.
No.
My wife doesn't complain at all. Yeah. And she also does not have that haircut.
Let's just say this. How about this? Let's clear out this. Because there's people that, might have to have short hair because they don't have a choice and stuff like that.
Because they're bald?
No, or they're going through like chemo or something like that. Okay,
Okay, well that'd be bald.
Yeah, but they might not have. They might have to have the short hair because of that and everything. It might not be a. Total
my mother keeps her hair short.
Oh, is she a complainer?
No, I don't know.
This might really. We might be ruining the argument here then.
Right, but also.
But then again,
my mom might be on her best behavior when she's around me because she doesn't want to.
That's true.
Want me to think she's a complainer, right? But maybe she is. Maybe she bottles it up. It's on her best behavior for me.
I want to say this is how I want to say this. All right, I don't think short hair, in general, is a complainer. Okay, because I know ladies that have short hair that do not complain. Okay, they're wonderful.
But
ladies.
Complainers do have short hair.
Yeah. So I do know ladies with short hair that do not complain. All right, so they're wonderful, just very polite. However, that haircut, that specific haircut,
right? The may I speak to the manager haircut.
The may I speak to the manager haircut. Like, I don't know anybody. I've never met anybody with that haircut that I haven't seen complaining. Or like if I've seen that haircut complain. I've seen it firsthand,
Yeah,
just
I've
random,
watched it, yeah.
random. Okay, and so I have seen it happen, and so I can say that that haircut, which I will make sure this is the artwork for the week. All right.
Yes.
That haircut specifically is major complainer, major.
Right.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
So, but the haircut that the complainer.
But she did not have the haircut.
She did not have
She
that
just had
haircut,
short
but she
hair.
did have short hair. She did have short hair.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. I mean, close. So okay. Sorry. It wasn't the haircut.
But it's
It was close though. It was pretty close.
yeah. Pretty
Had it had a
right.
little bit more in the front and a little less in the back. We got
It'd
it.
be there.
Yeah, it'd be there.
Right.
You know, my mom.
She might be
My
working on it
mom might. I'm sure my mom will have that haircut sooner or later. She has. Her hair literally is like my mom's hair is like a helmet, and so it's like and then it goes down and back like that, like it's short,
Nice.
like that short.
then.
And I'm just
You want to
like,
know what's funny?
what?
Leia's father has that same haircut. So
Hey,
Big
you know
Dad's
what?
rocking
Funny
that
part
same
is,
hairdo.
my mom complains a lot, and does Big Dad complain a lot?
Not to me.
Well, there you go. All right, probably to other
There you
people,
go.
but my mom complains a lot. So, all right, cool. So, all right, so let's start.
All
Let's tackle this other question because, man, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for being so nice to me, caller. I appreciate that greatly, and thank you so much for tearing Martin up and calling him on the carpet with his double IPA comments. Yeah, that's a good call. Good call. So,
All right,
Martin,
well,
explain yourself, please.
Let's
Are you
start with
trying?
this.
Are you hipster? Your little pajama pants and the judo dojo.
I don't see how doing judo makes me a hipster. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because if that dude wants to meet me on the mat, hey bro, whenever you're ready,
Man,
I'm ready.
Okay,
it's all good. Actually, I'm always looking for additional training partners because I think it's really fun, and I think everybody should do some sort of judo, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Go do something, man, because it's fun.
Are
It's a
you?
good time. It's really enjoyable.
What if this is somebody that you already train with? Huh?
It's not because I know the guys that I already train with, and it's not.
It's like three of them.
So,
and you're
I
like,
didn't
it's
hear
definitely not those three guys.
Right, there's not that many people there, so I know who they are.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
and they would just ask me, okay, so I don't remember making a double IPA comment, but I must have because it must be in there.
Yeah.
I will say this. I've never had a double IPA.
Oh, he called you. He got you.
I have had an IPA, and IPAs I found very bitter. So a double IPA is going to be even more bitter, so I don't even want to try it because it's too bitter
Yeah,
for me.
the bitter scale would be off the.
It would be off
the
the charts, man.
charts.
I
Yeah,
can't.
it's-
Yeah, I don't want to do any of that. It's no good. Anyway,
I
the
saw
Miller
a
Genuine
double
Draft,
IPA and
then.
I was like, ooh, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
too
Miller
bitter.
Genuine Draft. Okay.
Okay, Miller Genuine Draft. That was not the drink of the Army guys that I hung out with. The drink of the Army
what
guys
was
that I
the-
hung out
There it
with
is.
was Yingling. Everybody drank
Okay.
Yingling.
Okay.
That was the
Okay.
go-to beer for my unit. So,
Okay.
just so everybody knows, it wasn't Genuine Draft. It was Yingling.
Miller Genuine.
Right.
Which is a fine beer. Okay, it is a fine one. Okay.
It is. Now, I have the place where I hear about double IPAs is this Facebook group called the Reformed Pub. And in the Reformed Pub, people will argue about baptism, whether it should be, whether you should baptize babies or adults. That's pretty much what they argue about. And they used to, a couple of years ago, talk about beer in that group. They no longer do. That group,
Why not?
I was more active in it before. I'm still in it, but I don't really pay much attention to it because I'm not a Presbyterian. And Presbyterians are getting super obnoxious in that group. So that's where I heard about double IPAs. I'm just breaking it down like I hear it, man. If you're in the group, then you know that this is true. It's all good. Just so you all know, a better understanding of covenant theology is that there's one covenant of grace, there's one administration, but the Old Testament is predictive of what is fully realized in the New Testament.
No, here we go.
One covenant of grace, one administration of grace, but there's a foreshadowing in the Old Testament to the reality of the New Testament.
And there's one IPA and one double IPA.
Okay. So there's one, and the Presbyterians would say that the covenant of grace, there's one covenant of grace under two administrations, under the Old Testament and the New Testament. If you would like to discuss that more, you first need to read Pascal Denal's The Distinctiveness of Baptist Covenant Theology, a comparison between 17th century Paedo-Baptist and particular Baptist distinctives. It's a solid 150-page book that will make you. You got to read it like 2 or 3 times. You down for that, Justin? You want to read that one?
Well, let me suggest that if you're going to plan on reading any of those, skip the double IPAs and go straight for the hard liquor. You're going to need it to make it through. Okay? Liquor. Yeah, I'm talking. Just drink it straight. If you're going to try to make it through that, just drink it straight.
I got to tell you, man, it took me a long time to get through it because it is a boring book.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue that I take with the caller here is this.
Are you? He's taking issue with you, but you're taking issue
I'm taking
back.
issue.
Oh man!
Right.
Listen, Mark. Wait, hold on. Listen, can you be a little nice because we don't have a lot of fans, okay? That call in. We've gotten a lot of calls lately. We need you to kind of tone it down a little. Be nice. Be nicer.
Okay.
Be nicer.
I'll be nice. At what point were you and I trying to be edgy?
I'm not trying. I just am.
Okay.
Baby, yeah.
I mean, I spent most of this podcast talking about gardening.
And I spent most of this podcast eating a burrito.
Eating some tacos, right?
Burrito, yeah,
so it's not like we're the bad Christian podcast where these guys are going to drop the F-bomb because...
do they drop the F-bomb on the bad Christian podcast?
Because they want to be edgy. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they do. They do swear. The reason why... And I listen to the Bad Christian podcast a little bit, but I gave up on them because they were just being dumb.
Okay.
I mean, if I want to hear dumb people talk, I can listen to, our podcast and get myself some listens. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So,
which we do.
Those guys.
I listen to our podcast like 60, 70 times a week.
I definitely listen to it more than I should. So, which is why it's so funny that I don't remember the IPA content because I know I listened to it 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not cheating, is it? To listen to your own podcast to boost your numbers? That's not cheating.
I'm sure Will Ferrell is listening to his podcast left and right.
I'll listen to it left and right, and I'll take back the night.
Take back the night. Sorry.
Anyway, I don't feel like we're edgy at all. I don't know. That's just me. I've not tried to be edgy. I occasionally
maybe we need to be. Maybe we need to be edgy.
Should we be? So we should be edgy.
Maybe we should.
So what would that even be like? What would us being edgy?
Maybe we need to cuss more.
Do. Fart knocker.
Oh, son of a motherless goat. Yeah.
So it's legit.
Yeah.
Anyway, is that what being edgy for us would be?
I think using curse words. I think
because I'm not.
I think we probably need to be meaner to just calling other people out and stuff. Maybe that'll be edgy. Like for example, there's an Instagram account called.
The shoe one?
Yeah, PreachersnSneakers. We should probably be like, these guys are a bunch of jamokes with their expensive. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna get a video of me preaching.
Yeah.
And have my boots, and then I'm gonna have the thing next to it, and it's gonna say, These are my preaching boots, okay? And so I have one pair of boots that I wear during the week, and I have a pair of preaching boots. And then I'm gonna have the price is gonna say $80, but then it's gonna say, but got $50 from his mother-in-law to put towards him. So that's how I.
So really, only cost you $30.
$30, man. So like, yeah, it's compared to these like $3,000 shoes. And what is this, Martin?
Are we so?
Is Edgy calling jamokes like that out because I kind of feel like
jamokes.
Bunch of jamokes. What is this garbage? What is this garbage of spending so much money on shoes? What's the point?
I don't know, man.
Like if you have that much money to spend on shoes, you should, and you should be punched in the face. Because Martin, $3,000 on a pair of shoes.
It is not money that I would spend. I would not spend $3,000 on a pair.
Like if you were a Christian and you're sitting there going, listen, it is our job to go ahead and reach the world. Do you not think you could find something better to do with $3,000 other than buy a pair of shoes?
I'm a big believer in an individual's right to spend their money the way they want.
Oh, forget those losers.
Look, man, I wouldn't spend $3,000 on.
Why not? Why not?
Because I don't have $3,000 to spend on a pair of shoes.
If you had $3,000 to spend on a pair of shoes, would you?
I did my taxes today, or Leia did my taxes today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't do it.
I do not have $3,000 to spend on shoes. Uncle Sam's got $3,000 and more to spend on shoes.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thank you so much for changing those tax laws. So yeah,
whatever.
So, but if you had it, would you, or would you do something else with it?
I would not. But I wouldn't mind spending $3,000 on a down payment for like a tractor, right?
Yeah, but not shoes.
It's not shoes, right? But look, if the guy's got $3,000 and he's just a shoe guy, what's the big deal? I mean, I think it's kind of shallow, personally.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's shallow.
Yeah.
I think buying super expensive shoes demonstrates some things about your character that are lacking. Like this thing that you can buy a perfectly good pair for $50.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend way more than that on it just to look cool. See, I'm not trying to look cool personally. I don't care if people think I look cool or not.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to look. I want to look somewhat respectable. I don't want to look flashy. I don't want to look slick.
Yeah.
So that's it. I want to look somewhat respectable, not flashy, not slick, and I want to look appropriate for my context. Which is why I say if one of these guys wants to buy $3,000 pair of shoes, if it's appropriate for their context for them to be wearing that, and that's what they want to spend their money on, money that they earned that belongs to them, then it's something that I wouldn't do, but whatever, go ahead. It's $3,000 pair of sneakers, though.
Gosh, this whole thing makes me want to cuss right now. Like it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
I understand something like, hey, $3,000 for the down payment of a tractor, like. That makes sense. It's a freaking tractor that you were like, but shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Yes, I understand. Would you spend $3,000 on a suit?
No.
Would you spend? Yeah, I can't even put myself.
Maybe at the most.
I could spend that much
suit,
money on clothes.
Maybe $200. Maybe that would probably be the highest I would go on a suit.
You need to go a little higher.
Nah. I don't wear them enough.
You need to have it.
I don't wear them enough.
You need to have it as an option.
But I do need to get a new suit for my next wedding.
It's Easter.
No, not for Easter. Not for Easter. No.
Better wear a suit at Easter. It's Easter.
No, man. No.
On Easter Sunday, when Jesus rose from the grave, he wore a nice suit that cost more than $200, and that's a fact.
Oh, gosh.
How's that for edgy?
That's pretty edgy. And his shoes cost $6,000.
Whoa!
What?
3,000 each.
Yeah, 3,000 each per sandal. Per sandal.
I almost want to start wearing flip-flops to church on Sunday because it's closest to what Jesus would be wearing. Is that a good excuse? Can I get away with that? My toes are hairy, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work.
You know what?
Hairy.
Okay.
You're all worked up.
I'm worked up now because I also
shoes.
read a chapter. I'm reading Francis Chan's Letters to the Church, and I read a chapter that I don't like.
What happened in the chapter you don't like?
All right. So his opening illustration. I'm gonna read it to you. Okay.
Oh dear, man, you're really worked up.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine you walk into a restaurant and order a steak. 20 minutes later...
Already I'm with you.
Yeah,
I like it.
20 minutes later, the waiter comes back and puts a plate of spaghetti in front of you, claiming it's the best spaghetti you'll ever try. Would you be happy about it? No! You would send it back because it wasn't what you ordered. It wasn't even close. Okay? Now, here's the deal. I agree with the illustration. I like the illustration. And I honestly want to use that illustration. However, his next line is, I feel like this is what we have done with the church. And I'm like, yeah.
We? Has he got a mouse in his pocket?
Like
who else is with him on this?
Yeah, you and me apparently. And so like the whole thing is about everything that we do in the church. You know, like our worship, even our preaching. You know, like is all wrong. It's all jacked up. Like and that's the thing. Like he's like, you know. He talks about like, and this is where I struggle with, because he just put out this like thing not too like a couple weeks ago or a month ago about how he got like criticism because of where he does speaking engagements. Okay, so he's a public speaker still. Okay, he started a new church, but he's doing like home church, and that's how he believes the church is supposed to be done. Okay, but he'll go to speaking engagements. He'll get paid for speaking engagements. Okay,
gotta make money, man.
Gotta make money, right?
He's got to buy them $3,000 sneakers.
Yet,
I don't think that he.
Francis Chan is not. Francis Chan rides a Vespa or something like that. Okay, so it's like
what a weirdo.
Yeah,
he's got to live out on the West Coast, don't he?
Somewhere out there. I don't know where it is.
Weird.
But then he basically then just talks about how
he said he drives a Vespa.
You know that's good. You know that's a good one. So, but then he's talking about like the you know how do you say yeah, he has a lot of good stuff to say in it, but he basically talks about like how we preach and how God's word doesn't need explanation, that we should just sit there and read it, and we shouldn't he's saying that as preachers we're adding to it essentially, and I'm just kind of like okay. I feel
Ezra,
like yeah, go ahead.
When Ezra dedicates the temple, he reads the law and he gives the sense of the law, right? What does that mean? It means that he explains the law to the people and then he tells them what it means in regular, everyday language to help them understand it. There is nothing wrong at all with giving the sense of what the scriptures say.
Yep.
And I don't think, having not read the chapter, I can't say what he means by all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you this, just in my own context, there are some things that the people in my church want to hear the sense of. They want me to explain a little more clearly what's going on. We talked about 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 14 through 18 tonight. And in that, Peter says, listen, what I'm telling you, this is the same stuff that Paul told you. And you want to know what? Paul is hard to understand sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what Peter says about Paul.
Yeah.
And he's right. Sometimes that guy is hard to understand. So having somebody give you the sense of it, I don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I think it's helpful, especially if somebody has done the necessary study to help people understand where the passage fits in the overarching scheme of the text.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that a problem?
Well, this is what he
for
says.
Our man Francis Chan.
He says, So he basically says, what we'll get, he always, let me see where his, like Paul, he talks about how like Paul didn't put into, he there was times where he chose not to be a skilled orator, okay, like and stuff like that. Like the skilled orators, Paul refused that in 1 Corinthians 1:17. They wanted a preacher who would give them the best of human wisdom, but Paul gave them the opposite. He limited his words because he didn't want to diminish the cross of its power. Verse 1, verse 17. For Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, and not with words of eloquent wisdom. Let the cross of power be emptied of its, least the cross of Christ be emptied of its power. And so that's what he's trying to say. But like we. Here's my issue. Okay, and then he goes on to what are the order? What did God order? It's like God went to a restaurant. And he said, "Hey, I'll have a steak." Okay, and God's steak is just the hey, it's the communion. It's the public reading of scriptures. It's the fellowship and everything like that. And so, which
the ordinary means of prayer.
Yes, and I understand that, and he's not wrong in that. But when he He does hit on music quite a bit, of it being what's good and like being that using that to attract people. And I understand what they're saying, like we're not trying to put on a show. We're not doing that. It's not a show. I understand.
Well, that's not what we're doing, but there are people who are.
Yeah, and I think here's the deal. I think for him in his context, I think he was doing that. But I think what he's doing by him saying like things like because he makes a comment. There were times where we just stood up and we read scripture for 72 hours straight, and I'm like, okay, we read all of we read one night. Me and 20 other people, we read all of Revelation in one night, and I was like, okay, congratulations. It's just like if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. I don't care. But it's just like almost saying like that's what it should be. That's what God ordered us. That was what God's stake was. And I'm just sitting here going, yeah, but aren't you still preaching like somewhere and making some, I'm like, because that's the part that bothers me, and I've never said anything like this about Francis Chan because I'm probably one of his biggest, I think he's amazing. I like the guy, but I feel like he's a little off because his whole book is based off of him resigning from his church. It's all based off that and why he resigned. And here he is, while he is like, he's like, nothing against, anything we did there. Everything we did there was great, but here's what we did wrong, and we effed everything up. And I'm like, come on, man! Like he's talking out both sides of his mouth, and I'm gonna have to finish the book just because I always finish what I start.
Finish the book,
but right. He gets me here. Like even at the beginning of it, like I kind of got this weird. Like the first chapter, I was just kind of like, okay, I understand your struggle. I understand what you're feeling and everything like that. But there's part of me just going like it's disconnecting with me, and because I don't sit here and think to myself, like what we do. Like for example, there's a quote that Alan Hirsch said in one of his books that if we do like a marketing lure, like some kind of giant special thing, if we do a giant special thing, we get a bunch of people to church and they all show up. What are we going to do when the next week they come back and we don't do anything special? And I agree with that. Like, because here's the deal. Easter, we're not really going to do a whole lot different than what we normally do. We're not really going to do that.
Oh, we're not doing anything different.
Yeah. The only thing that we're doing
deliberately this year.
Yeah, the only thing,
no cantata, none of that.
The only thing we're doing different is we have like a video testimony of somebody in our church. That's it.
That's cool.
But it's to enhance it, and stuff like that, and so it's not anything like extravagant. It's nothing like huge and things like that. And so that way it's not, that, somebody shows up the next week like, wait a second, where's this at? Where's the cantata? I thought we had a cantata every week. There's no cantata every week, man. I don't even know I can't even spell cantata. All right.
There should not be a cantata any week, but don't tell Clint I said that.
Okay. I won't.
Cantatas are sick and wrong. They're the spectacle that we should, that Francis Chan says we should completely remove from the church forever.
Well, apparently, according to him, we should remove all the preachers too. Which really I struggle with, because looking at like the prophets and everything like that, you know, and how they preached and stuff. I look at all that and the theatrics of some of them. Much more theatrical than you and I are, okay? Way much more.
Wait a second. You don't want to bake bread over human dung and then eat it?
No, I mean, I do, but I'm not
Now,
going to.
Ezekiel never had to do that, but he was originally commanded to do that. He asked God not to make him cook it over human dung, because then it would be unclean.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I'm gonna say something here that's probably going to be mean.
To me?
Perhaps this is... No, not to you.
Okay.
This is just the...
Are we getting
This is just
edgy?
me being edgy.
Yeah!
Right. I'm just gonna get edgy on you right here. Let me get edgy. How are you going to be hanging out with a bunch of guys from the New Apostolic Reformation and lecture me on anything that has to do with church? Those guys abuse the scriptures, twist the scriptures for their own generation of wealth. They do so unashamedly, and they do so using stupid human tricks and deliberate falsehood. You're going to stand on the stage with those people and lend them credibility and then tell me that I'm the one who's ruining the church.
Well,
I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so.
So what you're referring to is his choice of who
to participate in the Send conference.
Yeah. And so that's what, like, your thing right there is why he released what he did a month ago. The statement he made a month ago about who he chooses to speak, how he chooses where to speak, how he chooses now. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna say, I'll go ahead and I'll say exactly how he probably chooses, because he's like, and this is another thing. Like in the statement he made, he basically said, you know, I get so many requests to these, so many requests to do this and everything, like to speak and at different engagements and everything like that. And I'm like, okay,
oh yes,
I'm sure you do, fantastic, you know. But then he goes, so I have to narrow it down, you know. And then he, you know, and he made a comment how, you know, hey, if I go and I every time I go, I'm free to speak about whatever I want to speak about, okay. And he says, and so wouldn't you want to speak in front of people that don't necessarily believe the same things that you do? So he makes that statement. However, at the same time, I'm sitting here going I totally understand what you're saying, and I totally agree with you, Martin. All right, but at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, like, so it's okay for you to write about not doing this stuff, but you're not going to actually do it yourself. So if you sit here and you say, oh, theatrical preaching, you know, like, and here's the deal. Let me say it this way: the Apostle Paul, in this one instance, 1 Corinthians 1:17, does say he minimized his words. He didn't speak eloquently. He did, okay? However,
right. In Ephesus, he was quite eloquent.
In the book of Acts, when he was freaking in front, you know, when he's standing in front of, you know, Agrippa. Is it? Did I get it wrong? I get it wrong. What do you? But listen, that whole sermon, that whole speech, it was beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I've ever read. I love it. It's amazing. And I'm just like, dude, he's very eloquent. He's very poignant, right. And he's very powerful. And he takes God's word and for us it's scripture. But guess what? It wasn't then. Someone else recorded what he said to somebody else. Francis Chan, that was stupid. That chapter is stupid because of that.
Edgy, Justin, so edgy.
Sorry, I was a little worried about that.
Very good.
And so I'm standing there, he's talking, we're going back and forth, and his coach walks up. He's like, hey. He goes, hey, James, how you doing? And he goes, oh, coach, yeah, I'm doing great. He goes, hey, this is my opponent. His name is Justin. And the guy looks at me and goes, hey. I go, hey, how you doing, man? It's a pleasure to meet you. Just real polite. He goes,
yeah.
Huh, I feel bad for you.
Why?
Because I'm fighting his fighter.
Oh.
And I go, he goes,
Boo
and so
that.
James kind of does like a little nervous and laugh. You know, like that. Hey, the guy just straight faces, I feel bad for you. Just like that.
Yeah.
And I outwardly go, yeah, okay. So I laugh. I blow it off.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be totally honest with you, Martin. That right there, what that dude said to me,
yeah, made you want to crush it.
I turned it on. Something in my head goes, okay. That's how it's going to be, homie. I'm tapped.
All of a sudden, Justin's got his edge on.
I go, I'm tapping your boy out. In my head, I go, I'm tapping him out. That's it.
I got no choice.
That was rude. And so,
Would
rudeness, guess what that means? Your boy's getting tapped out somehow. I'm going to be hard.
Would your coach do that to him?
No. My coach would stay away.
That's-
My coach stays away. Doesn't,
Right.
My coach tells me not to talk to anybody else, but I'd like to talk to everybody, Yeah. And so,
you're an extrovert, so you're going to go.
hey
talk
guys,
to
what's
people.
up? Doopy doopy doop. And so, but yeah.
Hey friends, I'm Justin. What's
this
going
coach
on?
says to me, I feel bad for you. And I look and I go, ha ha, I laugh, and I just kind of, on the outside, it's like, no big deal. Oh, okay, yeah, ha ha ha. Inside, I'm like,
I got
okay.
you. I got you.
I see how this is going.
That's
Oh,
it.
all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. Guess what? I'm tapping your boy out.
Fine.
And the best part is, I did.